Tuesday, February 9th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East. Let's start off with a look at the radar mosaic this morning. Now, of course, this does not have the precipitation type contours on there, but I'll sort of roughly draw it for you. Anything from roughly this line north is snow, mainly rain south of that line. And that's all pressing our way. In advance of this storm and in response to it, you have a lot of winter storm warnings that are in effect. That's the pink or peach shading there. Those are all winter storm warnings. And actually a winter weather advisory in effect for the I-40 corridor up through the Triad here in parts of North Carolina for the possibility of a little bit of very light wintry precip through the first half of the day. But I don't think that's going to be a big problem. Temperatures... It's relatively chilly around our neck of the woods, but here comes the next big blast of Arctic air charging down the plain states, and I just don't see a real end in sight to the overall cold pattern. Here comes the system today. Now, any precip that falls before lunchtime, say from I-40 and I-85 and points north and west, would be wintry precip. The problem this morning for those looking for winter weather is most of the precipitation is going to fall this afternoon. But still, I will mention the chance for a little bit of light wintry mix as we go through this morning for the Triad and points north and west, maybe down toward Hickory. But it just doesn't look like a big deal due to the very light nature of any morning precip. The steadier precip will be this afternoon. Most of that will be in the form of rain outside of the mountains. And it's sort of a chilly rain as we go through this afternoon. Now, cold air floods in here tonight, and this cold air advection tonight is going to be very substantial. Look at 850 millibar temperatures here, plunging below 10 below 0 Celsius. So that's a lot of cold air advection that takes place tonight. It'll be pretty breezy tonight, and also it could be some lingering moisture, so maybe some freezing drizzle lingering into the overnight hours for tonight. So it could be a few slick spots for the morning commute tomorrow. You want to be sure and check that out before you head on out the door tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow, winds. That's going to be our big weather story. Snow in the mountains and the upslope areas, but we'll see a lot of sunshine, Piedmont to the coast, but winds are going to be a big deal. Tight pressure gradient between the high and the high pressure complex there in the plains and this strengthening low off the New England coast. And for us, that's going to mean windy conditions. Winds out of the west and northwest gusting maybe over 40 and 45 miles an hour at times, even higher winds up in the mountains, and that could be enough with wet ground conditions to topple some trees or power poles tomorrow, so that'll be an issue. And this is going to be another big winter storm in the places, and many of the same places that just saw the big snow event as we went through Friday and Saturday of last week. And actually this one will extend even farther north. New York City and Boston getting in on the snow with this one. And for Washington, D.C., this will be another foot-plus snow event. Really incredible stuff. All right, then we go out to Thursday. And first I'm going to take you through the 6C GFS. Here comes the next little southern branch system. For us Thursday, across the Carolinas, a chilly day, highs low 40s, a lot of sunshine. Here's Friday, and the GFS really crushes this thing. It suppresses it well off to the south. So watch what happens here on the GFS. That's Friday at 1 p.m. This is Saturday at 7 a.m., and it crushes it down south of Miami. A lot of the other modeling is not that suppressed. This is the European model. It has that low pressure in the eastern Gulf of Mexico. The Canadian, similar. It takes it across the Florida Peninsula there and out to off the Georgia and South Carolina coast. And really the European and the Canadian precipitation fields relatively similar with this. And if you take the European and the Canadian verbatim, it does bring some snow to the deep south and into much of South Carolina and extreme southeastern North Carolina as well. And this really has the looks to me of a system that can bring some snow into this area right. Whoop, I drew that a little too far north. Let me try that again. Let me draw that a little better here. Say from this area down somewhere, something like that. It really has a look of maybe a snow event in that area, mainly south of Charlotte, south of the Triad. But maybe places like Columbia, Atlanta, Birmingham, maybe Montgomery, seeing some snow with this one Friday and Friday night. It looks a little too suppressed right now for many places like Charlotte and Greensboro and Raleigh, but places off to the south, the I-20 corridor, maybe getting a snow event out of this one. All right, then we go out behind this system this is Sunday night, actually 1 a.m. Monday morning. Little clipper dives in. Tough to get any really significant precip with clippers, but the GFS does print out a little bit of it, and any precip with that one would likely be in the form of snow. European has it too. So maybe a little bit of light snow with that one late in the weekend or early Monday, but it's tough to get any really significant precip with clippers. All right, quickly, look at the day 8 to 10 pattern. This is the upper air chart, European on the left, GFS on the right. And that is an overall look that just screams cold and suppression. This northwesterly flow on both models that would keep. There's still an active branch of the southern branch of the jet stream, but everything would be really suppressed to the south with that type of look, and that's exactly what the 0Z GFS showed. All right, this is 1 a.m. on the 16th, cold and dry. This is 7 a.m. on the 19th, cold and dry. This is 7 a.m. on the 21st, cold and mainly dry. It's printing out some QPF, but that looks sort of suspicious. Finally, out here at the very end of the run of the 0Z GFS, this is 7 p.m. on the 24th of February. Nice southern branch system that would take a more northerly track. So the idea here is that the southern branch is going to stay active, but it looks like for a while here, through the mid-month period, most of the systems are going to be suppressed to the south of North Carolina. But I don't see any real end in sight to the cold pattern, and it could persist maybe even on into March. And so winter not over by any means, but it does look like we're going into a drier stretch of weather. And listen, snow fans, say for Charlotte, over toward the Sandhills and even parts of Raleigh, I feel your pain. I do. This has been a winter pattern that, boy, the pattern has been conducive for a lot of wintry precip chances. And boy, for the triad, it's been a pretty good winter in terms of wintry precip. And certainly the mid-Atlantic states, the Virginias, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, boy, it's been a great winter if you like snow. And I would just say to the folks that have not seen the snow they'd like to see, hang on, winter is not over. Now, of course, we're getting deeper into winter here, and with this suppression pattern settling in, doesn't look overly positive, but I would just say that we probably have not seen our last chance as of yet. So just hang on. Winter's not over, but boy, I do feel I feel your pain. I feel your frustration. All right, that's it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful Tuesday, and God bless.